Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. See, I just want to iterate something. It's important for us to understand. Sexual orientation, homosexuality, transgenderism, lesbianism, those are all concepts and constructs. There's no such thing as sexual orientation. There is no such thing as sexual orientation. It's a concept. Naturally, a man is supposed to be with a woman and a woman is supposed to be with a man. And the reason why you have a law like this is because of contamination. It's a mental illness, and people don't understand that you can contaminate someone else's mind based off of your mental illness. And this is why you have people, an influx, who are becoming more and more bugged out. Not only because of the agenda that's at hand when it comes to homosexuality, transgenderism, so on and so forth, but also because of all these bugged out ideologies that go, hand in hand with, the others that I mentioned in terms of homosexuality, so on and so forth. All these things are concepts and constructs to where people, they become so broken down that they believe it. They really think that this is reality. Like even yesterday where I was at this little conference, we had this type of discussion, and the woman that was conducting it, she was a lesbian, and she was just saying, well, this is just the world we live in where we got to accept that, men could do things that women can do things that men can do, so on and so forth. But she said that in a way where you could tell that it was just based off of her being broken down. Like obviously she's confused, innately because she's a lesbian and also a woman. So it's just confusion on top of confusion. And during the conference, it was men and women that spoke, and you could just see the difference between the men conducting it and the women. The women were more like playful and not childlike, I would say, but just more playful and, just extra. Not necessarily like sticking with, just being professional and conducting it in a way where it made the whole mood professional. Like that's what the men did when they stood up and, gave their input on certain things. But when the woman was saying certain things, it was just like a playful type of vibe. So it is different. But just when it comes to what I was trying to iterate in terms of sexual orientation, it's a concept, it's a construct. Just the fact that you can't produce from two men having sex proves my point. Like it's not a natural thing, therefore it's a concept. And they make you believe in the concept to where you deem it as reality, where this is an alternative, like this is something that's added to the natural elements of life. No, it's not added to it when it comes to a civil society that's based in righteousness, but in Satan's kingdom, yes, anything goes. So you have certain people who look at this type of thing as, this is a part of it. This is a part of all the elements of relationships and sex and so on and so forth. When really it's just supposed to be man and woman, because that's natural. You know what I mean? That's why even in this verse it says, if a man also lie with if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, meaning if he lies with a man as he's supposed to lie with a woman, then both of them shall be put to death. They committed an abomination. It's just emphasizing the understanding of that's something that's abnormal. That's something that you shouldn't do. Like you're by default, you're naturally supposed to be with a woman. It's just that we live in a world where things have been broken down through the annals of time. So now in this vibration of this world, in this modern day world, obviously, like we lost all understanding of the righteous aspects of life when it comes to morals and so on and so forth. It's just that you have a remnant of people who still stick by it, men and women, who still understand that, I stick with principles, I stick with morals, I stay in the safe haven of, righteousness, because it's pervasive when it comes to the wickedness that's here. The iniquity is pervasive to the point where people don't even see anything wrong with it. That's how strong it is when it comes to the vibration of the left hand. All at the behest of Satan, which is really at the behest of the Most High, because it's all a part of prophecy. But I just wanted to emphasize my point about sexual orientation and how that has a lot to do with confusion. It's just confusion. That's all it is. But in this world, they're protected, and the people that's in power, they align themselves with the aspects of the left hand. And we already understand that homosexuality, transgenderism, so on and so forth is a part of that. So that's why, there's no element of trying to heal people from that, unless, they get found by some sort of understanding when it comes to what's right. But for the most part, there's no element of like therapy or trying to, convince someone that that's wrong when it comes to some sort of session where you go to and, you have a talk with a doctor or something like that. They don't have that for those people because they don't look at that as wrong. But we already understand innately, like, that's wrong. We already understand that that's a mental illness. It was even deemed as that back in the 1970s. That's how you know that this shit is all wrong. And it's agenda driven. In the 1970s, homosexuality was deemed as a mental illness, just like lesbianism, so on and so forth. They were deemed as mental illnesses because that's what it is. It's an identity disorder. If you a man saying that you want to be with another man, you have a mental illness. Something is wrong. But we live in a world where these people, they're protected. So other people, as far as the people that's not aligned with it, they've been broken down to the point where they accept it like, okay, it's just whatever, cool. Even saying shit to the extent where it's like, oh, I respect you, but just keep it over there. It should be more to it than that. It should be like, yo, listen, that shit should not be in my world, in my realm. Keep that shit away from me. I don't even respect it. Fuck that shit. No, that's the world we live in though, man. Where it's like, we lose. The righteous ones, we lose. They win. And the reason why I'm speaking on this is just because of an experience that I went through just a few minutes ago on a forum where, some dude had said that he'll have sex with another man. Talking about a rapper or whatever. I'm on Reddit, on Griselda page, and one of the dudes said, I'll fuck Gun. Gun is fine. I'll fuck Westside Gun. And I'm just like, yo, like what? I called him a faggot. And they banned me. And I had a little interaction with the dude that banned me, because he he's in charge of the Reddit, the subreddit for Griselda or whatever, or just Reddit in general. He was just telling me that they protect all people of or sexual orientation, gender, all this nonsense, the all-inclusive melting pot bullshit that they push. But it was still a civil conversation. He said, I respect that, I understand, but I have a job to do, whatever. And that's the battle. We lose, man. But yeah, man, just want to emphasize the point of sexual orientation being a concept and not necessarily being reality. Just like transgenderism, it's not real. It's not real. Like there's no real operation that validates going from man to woman. Like you're still a man even if you get a sex change, or you're still a male even if you get an operation or what have you, because that's what you were born as. Like it's nothing that can stop that. So that's how you know that these people, they need help. But in a world like this, they're not going to encourage them to get help because that's what this world pushes. So, they just defeating themselves. It's self-destruction. You cannot live a healthy life like that. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody says. Like even at this little conference yesterday, you got this woman, like she dressed like a dude, got no ass, like straight back. You see her pants and shit sagging. I'm just like, yo. And it's just gonna get worse and worse. It's gonna get worse and worse, man. Just prepare and protect your spirit, man. And stay on point. God bless you all. Shalom. Love.